If you love sweet potato and you want to grow your own, you always have to have one sweet potato and then you use that to get hundreds more sweet potatoes, okay? So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys have been good. God has been good. He's been faithful. It's sunny. Look at that. Oh, look at that glow. But yeah, the sun is out, so I have my hat on today because listen, I'm not gonna allow my face get burnt. Anywho's, we are starting sweet potato slips today, right? I have my sweet potato right here, right? And if you look at this one, it already has some slips trying to pop out, some eyes right there. But I'm gonna be showing you guys how to start sweet potato slips because obviously, if you have sweet potato, if you love sweet potato and you want to grow your own, that's how you do. You always have to have one sweet potato and then you use that to get hundreds more sweet potatoes, okay? So let's get into this. So when you're starting sweet potato slips to get, this is the goal. You need a sweet potato, preferably a long one, right? The ones that have these lines on them. As you can see, this one is already like popping. I've just had this one on my kitchen counter for a little bit of time. But you need a sweet potato slip, you need a heat mat, and you need nothing fancy. I use like an old almond milk container. I cut off the top, put the sweet potato in. If you remember my seed starting mix, it was peat moss, vermiculite, perlite, and just water. You don't even need compost or anything. Put it in there, put the sweet potato, just lay it in there, water it real good, and leave it on the heat mat. Give it a couple of weeks. Make sure you put it where there's enough light, by a window or somewhere, and you end up with this. I've had this, look at how long it is. Yeah, it's very long. I had it on the heat mat for, I want to say like 3 weeks, because I just didn't feel like I needed to take off the heat mat. But yeah, this was it, like after 3 weeks, and it just kept growing and growing and growing, and the vines are like really, really long. And then of course you're going to need a jar with water. And I haven't put water inside yet, but you need a jar of water. For the container, you could use a box of milk, a plastic container that has drainage holes. I didn't put drainage holes under this one because I wasn't watering it as much, so it didn't get a chance to be waterlogged. But you can put one with drainage holes if you know that you're not gonna monitor how much water you're putting in. But I was just like sparingly watering this, and if you can see, I had all my sprouts come out from one end as opposed to like the whole sweet potato. I have a little tiny one coming out there, if you could see it right there. But nah, I'll focus on the big ones. Okay, so bringing it out, probably just tear this instead. And you see how much root development I have here. Hello, sweet potato. Look at that. Spread on to the side. Actually, all the way on the bottom. From just one sweet potato. So I already have my jar of water here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly cut them off from here. If you see, like right from where it's connected to the actual sweet potato, and then I'll dip it in the water immediately. Doesn't need much of the dirt, so I'm just gonna slightly shake it. And what I did was I stopped watering it for a couple of days because I knew I was going to transplant it very soon. That way the soil wasn't too wet and it would just be very easy to come off. Look at that. Look at all those roots. All of these roots will become sweet potatoes after we plant it. So I'm just gonna untangle this and put it straight in here. That's it. Boom. So I'm going to take out, this is like the first one. I'm going to take out most of the dirt. That way it's mainly just the roots that are in there. And that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to continue this. I have a little bit more and then we're all done. Look, there was even some coming out from the bottom. Look at that. But I'm not going to use that one. Just going to focus on this ones that already have the roots popping out. Put all of them. I most likely would have to put them in 2 jars. Okay, for the last batch. This one's already out. Just gently tug on it, try not to break it. And you know, sometimes when I think about how sweet potatoes grows, you know how the Bible talks about God is the vine and we are the branches, right? Basically, the way sweet potato grows is you have this, and the only way to get more is to be grounded, to be rooted, right? In dirt, to have the right conditions, the right mindset. And before you know what's going on, you know, you begin to develop roots. People begin to see the fruits of you being planted in Christ, you being rooted in Christ, because you are connected to the true vine, you know. And I just think it's so amazing how we get to see God not just in our lives, but even in nature, you know, in nature. But yeah, there's more roots on here, but I don't need any of this. I think I have enough right here to be able to plant in the ground and also share with my neighbors. But you know how the Bible says, he who abides in me would bear much fruit. This is it right here. Just abiding right here in the right conditions with faith, with, you know, watering and the heat and everything. It was able to grow vines that actually have leaves on it. And with time, just being planted in the right soil, when we nurture ourselves and we nurture other people, before you know it, you end up with like a whole bunch more sweet potatoes when you're planted in the right ground. The Bible says those who are planted in the courts of the Lord shall flourish. Yeah, just decided to throw that in. Okay guys, there you have it. Sweet potato vines in the water. I'm gonna change the water in a couple of days, just so that it's clean. But each one of these roots, do you guys see it? Each one of these roots have the potential to be multiple sweet potatoes, right? The Bible says, if you abide in me and I in you, you would bear much fruit. So this is eventually going to go in the dirt, but it will bear much fruit because it's going to be planted in the right environment. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you've learned something new today. I will see you as you follow my sweet potato journey. Be blessed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.